good afternoon from all the various regions around the world. Uh, I am Ajit Kate, your host, your friend. Welcome to Passionate Talks. This is going to be a special or a different episode than my usual talk show, wherein I invite people from various domains and talk and converse. On this day, I was thinking let us do something different, little hatke, wherein I'm going to talk about the various chatbot tools we have in the world right now and how can we make use of this the tools and make our lives more easier. Before introducing these topics to you all, I would want to mention that these are there in the pipeline, are there with us since many years. We had Apple Siri, as you know. Okay, we had this for years together. Google Assistant as well, which was there in Android platform, but it was not that prominent. In Google Assistant, you you can literally type or you can converse with the Google Assistant on the requirements, and it had a limitation. It used to answer to questions which are what is fed to the system. Similarly to what Siri can do, Siri also provides you answers to a certain limit. After that, it used to say that I'm sorry, I'm not aware of it, or I'm not trained enough to answer this question, which was quite intelligent to a limit, to a mark. With Google Assistant, it used to search for information across the internet and then provide you with the record information. You can either type the questions or just converse with Google Assistant as you would normally do with your friend, or you can ask questions over the voice chat and assistant would give you the results. Over the years, I would not predominantly use the word post COVID, but over the years, the technology and science has advanced so much that our lives have started to become much easier to to do simpler tasks. People have been using electric vehicles these days, which was not a trend 10 years ago. It's much more common to have a electric vehicle in your house than what it was 10 years ago. It was uh, much more, um, it was looked up as a taboo if you had a mobile phone at home. People hardly had a smartphone 15 years ago than now. Now everybody has a smartphone. Each member of the family has a smartphone. So with the trend changing, with the science technology evolving, the way we live, the way we get things done also change. Similarly, we have got something much more evolved than your Google Assistant and Siri, with the help of modern technology and modern programming language such as Python. We have been able to develop a chatbot which is going to give you answers for all these simple questions you have and also help you to come up with something which you otherwise would hesitate to bring it up or hesitate um, to create yourself. Not everybody is creative enough. So if you wanted to do something which is more creative, I think these chatbots would also help. So this day I have a few prompts which are ready for you, which is just for the tutorial which I prepared. So let us come to the basics of it. I'm especially talking about the three tools, ChatGPT, which is quite common these days, along with Google Gemini and Microsoft Copilot. So I'm just going to demonstrate the differences between them, what makes each of the tool unique, and how similar are they? What are the alternatives? Are you how much should you pay to start using them? Should you register them? How do you start using them? And what kind of questions should you ask these tools to get the desired outcome? So let me start sharing the screen. I believe that uh, a lot more can happen when you share the screen. Okay. I hope the screen is visible to all of you. Yeah, I think it's yes. So this is ChatGPT. Okay. What is ChatGPT? Chat, as you all know, is a predominant context in in the world of smartphones, where you converse with people, your friends, and talk about a specific topic, or chat with your friend and to call for a movie, or chat with him normally as what are you doing, and how is your day going, etc. Similarly, we have the generative prompt, wherein it is globally fed from the respective developers onto a platform wherein the prompts are provided or developed in such a way that you ask the question to the chatbot and it provides you the relevant result. So ChatGPT was recently announced a couple of years ago, 2021, I believe, and since then it has evolved a lot from what I've seen from the last couple of years. Similarly, we have Google Gemini, which is their own chatbot tool. It is much more advanced than the Google Assistant. Google Assistant is limited to your smartphone, whereas Gemini is can also be used for your day-to-day queries, as well as it can also be used as a web browser. I would demonstrate how it feels like. So before all this, I would take you to an introduction on the hype cycle of AI. So the chatbot, Google Gemini, and Microsoft Copilot, all these are part of the artificial intelligence. And with AI, things are changing drastically. And you can find AI in every electronic device you find right now, including washing machines, televisions, smartphones, of course. You have AI cameras, you have night vision cameras for security, AI tracking devices for wildlife, wild animals in the forest, so whatnot. So this page demonstrates what are the expectations of AI and how much time does it going to take for each of these expectations to fulfill or come into the market. So you can see that the prompts are marked in numbers and different colors, and you can see that how much time does it take for it to get evolved. Something such as data centric AI or operational AI, which is currently what we are seeing right now, would take normally 2 to 5 years. And the ones marked in light blue, which is causal AI or prompt engineering, which is what being developed right now, would to take again 5 years to the max. Generative AI, on the other hand, it would take 5 to 10 years to develop because it is constantly evolving. It has to be constantly mapped to the current trend and then uploaded to the tool so that it gives you the relevant context. So this is how it's going to evolve, and there are obsolete as well. A few of them which are definitely not going to help in the future. Knowledge graph is something where would the data from the internet is sourced fed into the system, and it acts as a web browser or a search bar wherein you can find the information. And then comes your autonomous vehicles such as Tesla. all are already testing these vehicles to have driverless vehicles. You can see driverless trains, metros, and you can see Spot One in Bangalore as well under testing. So such is the trend, such is the market for OpenAI and the artificial intelligence. We are aware of only one of the things, generative AI, and maybe a few things from here, but a lot more things are hidden, which just need to be explored and learned about. All the chatbots are part of the generative AI because they are generated from prompts. What are prompts? Prompts are predefined or a thought provoking question or a keyword through which you're going to feed that into the system to get the desired outcome. So the way you ask questions to these tools will define the outcome of these tools. So if I ask a question to ChatGPT or Gemini on how is the weather today, the result may be just generic. It is going to say that the temperature is 30 degrees, etc. But if you ask them a precise location, such as how is the weather in India or how is the weather in Bangalore in the month of April 2024, the context changes. So it is not going to be generic, but a very specific result. Let us take few prompts which I had prepared for this session so that I can show you how you can start using ChatGPT and Google Gemini to make things work for you much easier. So chat.openai.com is the site you can log into. Earlier, there used to be a prompt for you to log in or register with your email addresses, but now I think it's free. Anybody can start using it without registration. Um, each of these tools has a free version and a paid one. What are the differences? There is huge difference. I'm not going to explain much into it, but I will cover that aspect in the future. So when you log into the tool, it it just says how can I help you today, and it'll show you the version of ChatGPT right now, which is 3.5. If you go for the paid version, or if you want to upgrade the plan to the next version, you can start using the GPT-4 version, which includes the latest image generation software as well. This completes or this captures um, the current trend in the market as well as the latest browsing capability of ChatGPT. Whereas if you go to Gemini, it is also similar to it. It takes in your Gmail credential when you log in. It says hello, your name, and it asks the same question: how can I help you today? ChatGPT as well as Gemini will have few questions in random to you. It just says that how can I help you, and then it gives you few of the random or generic prompts such as tell me a fun fact, transform name, brainstorm some names, etc., etc. Similarly, Gemini also has such a feature: help me get organized with a list of 10 tips, create a list of power phrases for my resume, etc., etc. What is the reaction to and impact of autonomous vehicles? These are some of the prompts which is suggested by Gemini. On the other hand, ChatGPT is suggesting a few prompts for you. Tell me a fun fact, plan an itinerary, design a database scheme, and brainstorm names. If you are satisfied with these suggestions, you can click one of them. It gives a result. Okay, if you're not satisfied, if you want to start asking questions to ChatGPT, you can think ChatGPT as your friend and try to not just chat but converse. How are you going to converse? Through certain keywords, certain prompts. Prompt engineering itself is a career option right now. which is in high demand because of these tools. Okay, let me take some of the prompts which I prepared for you. The first question I have, which I want to ask the tool, is this. All right, let us see this. What is generative AI? See, when I have added that in the form of a Word document because it's going to be handy for me, but when you type into the ChatGPT, the number also gets captured. You can see the prompt here in the Word file. Pardon me for the lag. Okay, you can see the number one, the serial number, is also getting captured into the ChatGPT. I would not say it's a drawback, but you can just remove it whenever you don't want it. But ideally, the difference between these two varies. If you just type generative AI, automatically it starts giving you the result. The information which is provided by ChatGPT is from the web, that's from the internet. Okay, it is going to grab all the information which is available on the internet for generative AI and give you what generative AI can do. It is explaining you what is the definition of generative AI and what is the how are the data is going to be retrieved and what are the numerous applications or fields through which generative AI can be used. Example: image generation, text generation, audio, video generation, data augmentation, creative application, and uh, also it shows that it has the potential for misuse in creating fake content or spreading disinformation. So there are drawbacks definitely, but if you look at the advantage, it is huge. Similarly, I'm going to go back to Gemini and ask the same question. Notice that when I type in the prompt, the number one disappears, which is a good part from Google that it is ignoring the numbers. When I put in generative AI and type or hit search, it is also taking the internet content definitely, and you can scroll down and see what is all the information is there. It gives you a definition. Of course, you can see the compare the differences between the definition provided by ChatGPT as well as Gemini. It refers to a class of AI techniques that are used to generate new data or content, often in the form of images, text, audio, or other media. So you can see how it all began. So generative AI is a type of AI that can create new content like text, images, music, and even videos. Imagine it as a creative assistant that uses its knowledge of existing content to generate something new. So the agenda or the whole idea of generative AI is the same, but the data representation is different from ChatGPT and Gemini. Okay, and also how it works. You can see the how it works section here. In ChatGPT, it says that we have GANs and which connects with the two neural networks, a generator and a discriminator that are trained simultaneously in a competitive fashion. You know what is neural, right? Neural is something similar to your brain. The brain cells are electronically controlled through each of the neurons. So they pass electrical signals through which we take our day-to-day actions. Similarly, they have developed these tools in such a way that it understands the human aspect to it. There is a generator as well as discriminator. What is this? Generator is to generate answers, responses to your question. Okay, and what is discriminator? Discriminator is it it clearly understands what is the context, what should be answered and what is should not be answered. What is the person asking me the context? Should I respond everything with respect to that particular topic or only with respect to a certain aspect of the topic. It all depends on the context of what we type in, what we ask generative AI. So next is the context. What are the different applications? Here also there are a few applications which is mentioned: creativity, efficiency, accessibility. Mind, please notice that the area of limitation is pretty generic here. It says creativity, efficiency, accessibility. It does not tell you where all you can use it. Whereas if you go to ChatGPT, it is little elaborate. Image generation, text generation, audio video generation, data augmentation. So if for a layman, if somebody has to search what are the advantages of ChatGPT or Gemini, you can make out the difference on how much information can be found just by the definition of it. Okay, so that brings us to the definition on what data can you find from ChatGPT prompt, generative AI prompt. Now, the next question I have is something to know about ChatGPT. Now, the first question I asked is what is generative AI? This is generic example. Now, I'm going to ask ChatGPT on who are you? What do you do? Okay, because as I mentioned before, we are trying to converse, not just type something and get the answers. So I'm going to say, okay, what does it mean by I'm fine, I'm five, explain me about you? Similarly, I'm going to go back to Gemini and type in the same thing. Okay. So ChatGPT is a very vast subject, right? A lot of people might know about it, a lot of people might not know about it. So this prompt is just for a 5-year-old to understand what is generative AI, what is ChatGPT. So imagine I'm suggesting or asking ChatGPT that I am 5-year-old, explain me about you. Okay. So explain me about generative AI or explain me about you to a 5-year-old kid. So it has to comprehend to that level of knowledge. So it says, okay, imagine I'm like a super smart friend who knows a lot of things. I can help you with all sorts of questions and tell you stories. You can ask me about animals, space, or even how to draw a dinosaur. Just type what you want to know, and I will do my best to help you understand. It's like having a really clever friend who's always ready to chat and play games with you. So, don't you think this is a wonderful response to a 5-year-old kid? It clearly understands what or how to communicate with a 5-year-old, because if you look at the English which is mentioned or suggested here, it is very basic. I think every other person can understand, not just a 5-year-old, right? It is going to be very beneficial for the parents if they have to uh, you know um, make their own kid understand ChatGPT, or how they want to bring out bedtime stories for their kids. I think this is a great tool for them, and a basic introduction on how the kids can start using ChatGPT uh, to get bedtime stories, to learn rhymes, to learn stories for their school programs or at home randomly. Whereas if you go to Gemini and ask the same question, I'm 5-year-old, explain me about you. Okay, what does it say? Imagine you have a giant box of building blocks with letters, pictures, and even sounds instead of just colors. That's kind of what I am. I can look at all these blocks and use them to build things, stories, poems, and answers to your questions. I learned by looking at a lot of things people have written and made. kind of like how you learn by reading books and seeing pictures. Then I can use that knowledge to answer your questions in a way that makes sense, even if it's tricky. Think of me as a super helpful friend who loves to learn and play with words and ideas. I can't wait to see what kind of questions you have for me. So all this suggests that it clearly understands the mindset of a 5-year-old kid. The English is very, very basic. See, the kids of five, between 4 to 6 or 4 to 7, tend to have a very much resemblance with letters, pictures, and colors. So it knows exactly how to draw the attention and also use few things such as stories, poems, which are crucial to the kid of that age, or which is usually what a kid of that age would do. ChatGPT, on the other hand, it just had a paragraph on what it can do. It says that you can ask me anything about animal species and it can help you out, and you can talk to me as a friend, etc. Gemini just took a step ahead and said, I can help you, or you can imagine me as a building blocks with letter, pictures, and sounds, along with just colors. It is also telling you that I am like your super helpful friend, which is what the kids would normally relate to. When you say friend, that is what the kids get attracted to. So that is one of the attention to detail the developers have made here when it comes to a 5-year-old kid. So this brings us to the introduction of ChatGPT and Gemini um, tool with respect to what is the definition of ChatGPT, generative AI, uh, and then the Gemini, how can you log into it, and how do you describe this to a 5-year-old kid? We have, I have prepared few more prompts for you, which is uh, going to be useful in various other domains. I'm going to demonstrate it one by one. I'm going to take a break for 2 minutes and then come back, and then we can start the further sessions with you all. Take a break and come back with me.